welcome back to the draft panel of the Ti10 Grand Finals, again with Ceb and Notail and myself. And I want to ask you guys, how important do you think that victory was for LGD? Like, how is it going to affect their mental game?
It's massive for them, of course. They have no more room to fail, whereas Team Spirit, they might get a super challenge coming their way if they don't close it out now. They're going to have to go into a game 5, same position. You have no more losses to take. So for LGD, they need to get as much confidence and as much freedom so that they can be themselves again, or like their full potential. Mega important victory, of course. If you lose, you're out. But mentally, they need to take something from this. I think we saw a little bit of a better body language, if I want to go that far, and say that they do look like they feel better.
Now we see the switch up, and we were talking about it before the draft started, right?
Yep.
LGD broke Team Spirit Magnus, and I think they broke it in a very convincing way. And now the question was, so the second pick won all 3 games, and both teams kind of realized second pick works better. So far, this can still change. Team Spirit got the choice, which is a very big deal. It's probably not going to decide the outcome of the game, but it gives them definitely an upper hand. And now with this first pick, LGD, they had to choose, do we want a mag, or do we want to give them mag and play against it? And then if you do that, mainly the Rubik was the big counter, right? And Team Spirit, they actually decide to not go for the Rubik versus the mag. They end up going for the Wyvern, which so far has been one of the best answers to Tiny. Nevertheless, though, in this opener, Tiny is banned, and they go for the Wyvern anyway. So, yeah, I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how they cope with this Magnus, because I don't think the Wyvern quite does it.
Is there a reason you think they banned Dark Willow over the Wyvern? Because in the previous 2 games, I think LGD had been banning Wyvern. I mean, Ceb, you even mentioned to me, you thought maybe the Wyvern ban was a mistake.
Yeah.
But in my head, if you're going for Magnus first pick, Wyvern seems like a better ban than Willow.
I think so. At the same time, I think both bans, to be honest, I want to say I'm not a fan of the Willow ban, but then I'm just going to go with I don't quite understand it. I think I'm just missing something here. Yeah.
I think the Willow ban would also help them do the Shaker Morph second phase if they want. I mean, it's a hero that they're also very familiar with. I think the Bramble value is still there. I don't know if it's worth a ban either. I think there are some very powerful game-changing bans that shouldn't be overlooked, but Wyvern might be a very high-rated hero, or should be higher rated than some teams maybe give it credit for. Statistically speaking, has won a lot of games here, and it is a classic mag counter to at least a classic mag gameplay, but still the skewer play is very strong, and we saw it addressed last game, where the Ruby got a lot of good lifts on, and also the shard lift eventually makes carriers feel really safe against this. So yeah, let's see. And now the Lion is in already from the first phase. Also quite unconventional to open Wyvern Lion.
Yeah, and there's a lot to say about the Bane pick also, in my opinion. I mean, Team Spirit, the Lion, they didn't get it the last games, and it has been a hero that worked really well for them. The way they play, they play so well around vision. They always set up this Lion for great kind of hexes fight. He starts to fight with hex, and it's hard to stop it. I'm really surprised that the Tide didn't come for Team Spirit. I mean, it's one of Collapse's best heroes. Mars is out. Mag is out by being first picked by LGD, and then the third Collapse hero, which is much more than just a Collapse hero. Like Team Spirit, they play around it, they build around it so well, is Tide. Tide is a counter to Magnus, and yet they don't go for it. Meaning, LGD might have had a second pick, like a second first pick.
Here?
I think they have to.
They will, right?
If they don't, maybe it means they have a great answer to it, and Team Spirit knows it.
I think they're going to be banning out a lot of team fight. They start with the Doom probably now, and I think that's also, you're not going to pick Mag or Tide yourself next phase. You're most likely going to ban it. You have a Bane and a Mag, right? Yeah. Let's see. They don't ban it yet.
So the Doom ban versus Mag is a very simple concept. It's like you play a Mag lineup, you want to empower a guy, and you want that guy to just go ham, and of course, if he gets doomed, then the whole lineup doesn't make so much sense anymore. You kind of break their way they want to take the fights. I want to talk quickly just about the Bane versus Wyvern and Feeble. It counters Wyvern heal completely. Also, it's really good at catching Bane, catching heroes. I think it's just a very interesting hero versus Wyvern in terms of how he's going to beat him on the lane, and also has great things to do in the game against him. They do ban the Ember. Obviously, Ember itself already has been a great combo, great hero at, messing with the backline. Lion and Wyvern, they don't want to be messed with. If these supports are allowed to cast their spells, especially in the hands of such talented players as Miposhka and Mira, they will win the fight for them.
Yeah,
So
I was expecting to see 3 sort of backline jump bans coming out from Team Spirit. I mean, I feel like Lion Wyvern, it's a bit vulnerable, so you have to protect your supports with bans. I've always felt when I'm drafting that I don't like picking 2 supports like this, because then you're spending bans on picking supports. But do you think there's like to your knowledge, is there any reason to pick 2 supports like this instead of picking a corridor?
I think it's only if you're afraid that you're not going to get them and you value them as so much that you need them. But in my opinion, it's very abusable. And I think LGD will take the bet, like we'll get the most out of that.
Interesting to note is ET has not been removed, right?
Yeah.
I think the line was also a potential answer
Sure.
to a mag ET,
Yes.
and they're also rushing it because it's most likely going to get banned next phase.
That's what
I'm
it
still
was.
very surprised that the Tide has not been banned.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Collapse is going to ask for this hero this game.
They must have they must have an answer, LGD, right? I think if they don't ban it, they for sure know it's coming, or they could be coming. They must be ready for it. That's how I view it. Maybe they're planning on picking the Juggernaut already, or the Slarks.
But they're not in full control either. As Team Spirit do have a ban, they do have like kind of a way to dictate. They banned the Ursa.
But if you think about it, it doesn't sound so Team Spiritish to pick the mid or the carry here. Most likely they will pick Collapse. So maybe LGD is like, we don't have to worry about a closing second phase pick.
You're right. Yeah.
And that anyway they're gonna show it to us here.
That's thinking far ahead, which I'm sure they are. Like this double support opener is vulnerable, very vulnerable in that sense. Is that you're now you still have to reveal, and they're able to get 2 really strong picks.
Never mind, they actually go for it. And that also is a statement from Team Spirit in which they maybe thought that the Spectre was the bigger problem last game versus the Rubik. You know, these were the answers. And this is exactly what I think should be done. This is precisely what should be done in a Mag versus Spectre game and in a Mag versus Rubik game. This Magnus does not want to RP anybody. He doesn't care about getting his blink cancelled. He doesn't care about getting blink at all. He does not want to skewer anybody. This Magnus is going to empower Luna. He's going to build aura items. They're going to plant the tombstone. Luna's going to hit the buildings. And that is going to be the fight. And heroes like Spectre actually are probably the worst out of all the carry pool to deal with that. You have to fight into this massive ball that is coming, and Spectre hates that.
The only good thing that they have right now is a Winter's Curse. The line is disabled. Most of Iron spells are disabled. Like this playstyle versus playstyle heavily for now favors LGD heroes. Like these heroes on the bottom, they will not enjoy a strong ball coming to hit their tower.
So to make it very simple, basically what has happened in Game 3 and Game 4 draft is, you know, Spirit got their Magnus, LGD broke it. Spirit had to find another way to abuse the Magnus hero. And LGD now are showing how do you turn. They beat Magnus with Spectre, and they also showed them you can beat Spectre with Magnus if you understand what's happening. And I think this draft is what's happening in a nutshell.
Do you think that Axe does anything to stop that plan? Because to me, Axe is very single target, you know, a bit lane focused almost.
I don't think he helps at all. I think this is a hero that does not jump into the ball unless something good is happening already from your teammates. Like they're running away from some Tinker, they're running away from a Phoenix Egg. They have none of that. Lion and Axe are both going to be waiting for LGD to be afraid or overwhelmed by some sort of damage ability or teamfight ability, but it's not coming so far. Like I think Team Spirit need to find a really good pick right now. They need to find a really, really strong pick or something that allows them to then force LGD into their playstyle.
I'm always scared when I have the last pick though. Like if I have to last pick a hero that has to solve conditions and be good in lane and do so many things, like it's so hard to find that perfect pick, right?
It is hard.
Ideally it's 24 and not 23 especially then.
Yeah.
And he also is going to have to deal with the one-on-one matchup that's going to come his way. And so I want to
Do you have the final?
Yeah, and the Concat. You see this ball,
Perfect.
like how do you fight into this? Honestly, it is so hard for heroes to fight into this, and they have literally 0 damage. The Spectre Axe is very low damage. This Axe is very low damage. They have no
Support's
way.
only on one finger. That's all the damage they have.
It's going to be very difficult, and I want to also mention the Undying versus Spectre. What he does is you plant the Tombstone, and now there's a zombie on every Illu, so there's no Desolate damage, meaning Spectre damage drops dramatically. In my opinion, I mean, I'm very happy to be proven wrong, and there's a reason why these teams are playing the finals and I'm not, but I still see this as being a strategical misread from Spirit.
Okay, that changes Dota.
So they're going for the lane snowball here, right? You want to get the TA timing, snowball off that. You have single target, Spectre, you can take control of the map, you get a lot of pickoffs. I can see that as a possible answer, but it's looking scary for me.
They need to play the TA game right now. The
Yeah.
TA is a very fast hero. He can go into Roche early, he can snowball and get openings on the map with Deso Blink. I don't know if he's going to go Aghanims this game so that they can actually do more on the map, but they cannot run into this ball and just click their spells. This is not going to work for Team Spirit.
Yeah, this is not a Spectre versus Magnus game anymore. Like, this is a TA game. They have to win on the back of it, and if they don't, then most likely the game is going to look quite grim for them.
Or they go really late. The Spectre manages to create a lot of chaos, or the TA manages to create a lot of chaos, and Spectre will get bigger and become kind of like a team fight impact, and then maybe you're going to see Axe and Spectre and all these heroes actually come out and shine, but a lot of weight on TA's shoulders.
Yeah, LGD has really done a great job with this draft, in my opinion. I think the momentum right now has completely shifted. But yet again, team spirit, incredibly talented players, great laning team, great vision, great execution in team fights. They can pull this off. They definitely can.
Keep an eye on those traps.
And we're getting into game 4 now, but before that, we'll have an interview with Sumi and LGD's coach, Xiaowei.
Hello, everybody, and I am here with PSG LGD's coach, Xiao Ba. It seems that you and the team have managed to put a stop to the momentum of team spirit. How did you manage to keep the team calm and reset for this game?
你们把他们的势头止住了，你们是如何保持冷静，然后重组的呢？
我就跟他们说不要怕呀，输了一起扛呀，然后也没什么好怕的，因为就发挥好自己的，如果就万一就输了也没啥，就明年再干回来。
I told them don't be afraid. If we lose, we tank it together. And I've also told them that if we lose, we still have next year. Don't be afraid.